Tyler, do you remember how you felt when Urban won his first national title?
The one in Florida?
Yeah.
I was pretty fucking mad.
You were?
Yeah. Because he beat Ohio State.
I guess, like, as a college football fan, did you feel like, oh, it's coming? Did you feel like you were watching the next special coach, or were you too involved in because it was against Ohio State that it was like
Dog,
you were just mad?
I was 14 years old. I was mad.
Doug, I'm just curious because when they won that natty, I thought Florida would never lose again.
I didn't think we were ever going to lose.
Same. And when they beat us, I was like, oh, this is that team. This is one of those teams.
When Ted Ginn took that bitch to the crib to open the game up,
we were winning the Super Bowl.
I was like, this is the greatest football team that's ever walked this earth.
Ever.
I said we were going to beat the Browns.
So after that game, I had an infatuation with Urban Meyer. Because in school what the currency was? The currency was like being fast than everybody. Like the fast kid was just a cool kid.
Sure.
Being fast was cool. And Urban Meyer's media tour after that about like, oh, it's just speed. We're not better at football. We're just faster than everybody else. And so I thought that I was watching. I thought that I watched Florida break through, and I thought that nationally, the way Urban Meyer was talking about, I was like, oh yeah, like this is just the beginning. Like this is a very special coach.
What's funny is I just rewatched Swamp Kings, like this past weekend, and I just like I think I was just like too young to realize, like the things that they were doing back then and how he could have like. I don't think Urban Meyer could ever survive in this college football world. There's no way.
I disagree, but I don't disagree strongly enough to fight about it.
Yeah, I just like the way that he talked to players and talked to like people. Yeah. Like you just like kids would just leave. I don't need to deal with this.
I guess you know my pushback is that only like if he started coaching now, I think you're right. But I think when you coach then and you're successful then, you could talk to kids however you want. You think Nick Saban changed how he talked to kids when things changed?
I mean, things changed, and he kind of retired quickly.
Well, I agree, but here we go. Kirby. You think Kirby changed how he talked to kids? Absolutely not.
But I don't think
we heard those locker room speeches.
Yeah, but like we also have heard intimate stories about like the things that Urban Meyer would say that were like I think Urban Meyer might be one of the most disrespectful people on the face of this earth.
Okay.
I mean, he's my guy. He's like,
yeah.
I shouldn't say he's my guy. I'm okay with him being my football coach. But
do you know why? Do you know why I'm opening with it? You know, I'm asking this.
Sure.
Because I feel like when Urban won his first one, when Nick Saban won his first one, and even to a degree when Kirby Smart won his first one, nationally the picture was, oh, they figured it out. Watch out. But then when Ryan Day won one, it's like, we don't know if we can do it again, though. When Cignetti won one, it's like, I don't know if we can do it again, though. When really, we might be watching the Big Ten's version of Urban and Nick Saban right before our very eyes and might not even realize it. Like, and look, I'm saying that because of the degree of difficulty both these teams' natties were and how they made it feel easy once it got to the postseason. That is Urban Meyer and Nick Saban stuff. Like in 2015, and you and I talked about it, kind of formulas to winning championships. Some of those teams made winning a championship look easy. In 2015, for Alabama, it looked easy. In 2017,
way too easy.
It looked easy. Well, I'm not going to hold. I don't know where you're at with this, but from the time the ball hit the foot or the foot hit the ball against Tennessee, did you ever think we were losing?
No.
Dude, you and I went to Atlanta. This is the kind of look. Tyler and I have been long friends. Tyler and I both went to the Natty, did not talk to each other, and we both went down there talking about. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but for me, it's a coronation. Are you worried at all, Christopher? Not even the slightest. And that's how I imagine those Bama teams felt. That's how I imagine those Florida teams felt.
The
And yet
only
nationally,
game
it's
that I
not
was
talked about like
nervous
they could
for,
repeat.
the only game I was nervous for was the first 3 minutes of the Oregon game and then the Texas game. But like that
Exactly.
Notre Dame game was absolutely a coronation.
It was
There
a
was
coronation.
no way that team was going to beat Ohio State in that game.
They didn't even pack the green confetti. Just so y'all know, nobody packed the green confetti. And also, I was slightly worried about the Oregon game. You know, until when? Until that DB looked happy that he touched Jeremiah Smith with a pinky, and Jeremiah Smith housed it on a little drag route. But yet, do you feel like nationally the conversation around Ohio State and around Indiana isn't about, hey, college football better watch out? It's about they did it once, but we don't think they can do it again. And it's just a different feeling when these two won it, even though the fashion in which they won it was so incredibly convincing to me.
Well, I think there's two different. Both, I think you're right, and I think there's two different. One reason for each team. One with Indiana, it's brand bias. It's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. But then it's like, what is it with Ohio State?
It's fatigue.
Fatigue. We won one.
No.
Damn it.
It's the rest of the country being tired of Ohio State just being good all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. But like nobody got tired. Like here we go. People talked. That's fine. You can get tired of it. But people talked about Bama even after they're tired of Bama, like they were inevitable. Like after Kirby won the first one, they talked about the second one like it was inevitable. Remember, people were talking about they could win 3 and 4 years.
Yeah, I think they did actually.
Georgia did not win 3 and 4 years.
Oh, I thought you meant Alabama. Sorry.
No, Bama did. But I'm saying people talked about Georgia like they were gonna, like they might never lose again. And then when Nick Saban retired, people talked about, oh, now they don't have to split talent with Alabama. They're about to win the next 4. I guess what they've gotten worse.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. One, I don't think we're ever going to see an Alabama-like dynasty ever again.
100%
because
agree.
you cannot stack talent like you used to.
Right. So when you have a recruiting miss, you feel it.
Correct. So it's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
Those things are never going to happen again. So it's like, okay, so what does it look like now when you truly are dominant? Well, it's like, well, you're winning a natty every 5 years, 6 years. You're making it to another natty and another, in that mix. You're always in the playoffs. You're always winning. We're basically describing what it's like to be an Ohio State fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing this for so long. And it is what it is. And I think there's a lot of fatigue with Ohio State because we're like you say, it's our birthright to win 10 games.
Yeah, that's our birthright. But I guess I just don't understand why. And it may be like the fatigue. Like I don't understand how. Look, here we go. I'll reframe it. I was scared after Urban Meyer won that first one. Media made me feel scared. I don't feel like anybody's scared after Ohio State won the first one. Like we could very easily ruin this sport. Why aren't people afraid? They could be fatigued. Why aren't you afraid of us?
I don't know. I don't know if afraid is the right word. I don't know. That's a great.
I was afraid of Florida when Urban got that thing rocking. I was afraid of Florida. I was afraid of Bama.
Well, I also think it's because of how badly Florida made Ohio State look. It was like, whoa, timeout. They're just as big as us, but they're way faster than we are. They're way more physical than we are. They're just like. They were just the way they beat us was different.
Thank you. No. Thank you. We did that exact same thing in 2024, and nobody walked away talking about we should be afraid of them. Indiana just did that thing to Bama.
Yeah, that's true. And Oregon back to back.
And Oregon back to back, and nobody walked away like we should be afraid of them. That's why I'm confused. Because here we go, Tyler. I'll just this discussion is because I feel like we have Urban Meyer and Nick Saban figures in our conference, and everyone's acting like this shit is normal. I was about to ask you because I don't even know. I do not know.
Neither one of them is Urban Meyer.
No, but I just mean like figures.
No, I get it. And what's funny is I watched both Pate's interviews with them each, and Ryan seems he seems very comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah, I haven't watched the interview yet.
He seemed very thought out and wise almost. And it feels like he's ready to be like that, patriarch of college football. Because, like, if you think about it, what was it? Who's now like been along like Dabo, but nobody respects Dabo.
No, I guess honestly, it's funny because like I never feared Dabo. I never feared these Clemson, and they won 2 and 3 years. Never
Right.
feared them.
I think Kirby has the ear of a lot of people look at Kirby that way, but I think
people
also
fear Kirby.
amongst the coaching ranks, I gotta feel like they look at Ryan Day with a ton of respect.
Well, here my pushback is like you kind of do the thing with Kirby too, where you give Kirby more benefit of the doubt.
I do, but I think Kirby's a really good football coach.
I'm saying you give him more reverence than you give Ryan Day.
Probably because Ryan Day is my coach, and I'm a little bit more in tune with what's going on and the things that like, he doesn't do well, and like
because like this last year, you said that Ryan Day had a disappointing season, but you said Kirby had a successful season, and that threw me hearing you say it.
Yeah, I thought that Georgia overachieved based on the inexperience and like the youth that they had on their roster.
But it's like, didn't we also have the same inexperience and same youth on our roster?
Maybe I just knew it more.
Okay, like I was gonna say, like their quarterback had more starts than ours. Their receiver core was like more experienced than ours. Their offensive line had some youth. They also had a first-round pick at tackle.
I also thought that watching them play, I thought Ohio State was better than Georgia.
That's why I'm surprised that like you were like, oh yeah, like Kirby did more.
Like I thought Ohio State's roster had better players than Georgia.
I guess how much do you attribute roster building though to the coach? It's not like Kirby rolled out there with the roster that he picked.
No, 100%, 100%. It's just one of those things where like I think Georgia this year, like I'm holding Georgia to a higher standard this year because I think their roster is better.
Okay,
so like I expect Georgia to do more.
And here we go. Are you now in that same stroke? Are you holding Ohio State to a lesser standard because of how much they lost? Like, is this year's Ohio State the same as last year's Georgia, who you didn't hold to that ultimate standard because of the inexperience in the roster? Because this year, can you contend that there's any? I mean, the defense.
I haven't decided. I don't think it's less, but I don't think it's more. I would say it's like I think I expect them to be. I think it would be the same. Like I'm expecting them to go. I'm expecting them to go to like a Final Four.
Okay,
like a Final Four for Ohio State to me would be like what I think that they should do most years, if not every year, at the minimum. Now in this new playoff format.
I want to move on to the schedule. You and I had a very spirited discussion 2 different times today, and I asked Tyler point blankly, "Are you a 24-teamer?" or not? Because I am. And look, I'm not mad at people if they're not 24-teamers, but I want your reasoning to be something that I can accept.
Sure. So I told Chris when he asked me this question, I said, I've come up with an argument for both sides, and I don't know which argument I like more. On the one side where it's like I like the 24, it's like one, as long as the 2014 model is the model in which it's played on the field and not with a committee, I'm in for that. I can do that. But to just like expand the playoffs to 24 teams and just have the committee choose 24 teams, like that's a disaster. That is a terrible idea to me because there's still the bias. There's still the voting bias that we clearly see because it's based on the AP poll, and the AP poll is an SEC bias type of deal. And there's just, to me, but their inclusion of it, more teams feeling that they have a chance, more teams preparing to invest more money because they get the itch, they get to taste it. So I do see that side of it. My thing was that I felt like, as an Ohio State fan, now I took off my college football hat and I'm putting on my Ohio State fan hat. I just feel like, to me, there is not even a little bit of a risk that I'm missing the 2014 playoff.
So Tyler and I had
there's no chance they miss it. Not even a slight chance.
And I told Tyler that we already live in that reality. Because he said there only would have been one time in the last 20 years that we missed a 2014 playoff. And my response was what? There would also be one time in the last 20 years where I missed a 12-team playoff. So for me, 10-2 is my birthright. So now that I've already gone to this level with my team. I've already gone to this level. I'm thinking about the sport in its totality. Sure. I am in support of 24 teams because the sport has been covered poorly for the last 15 years.
No, I am what I would say is this is I am okay with 20. I'm okay with 24 as long as it's played on the field. Where
honestly,
essentially where conference championship weekend becomes the play in to get into the 16-team playoff is basically what it is.
That's literally, dude. If they had a PR person that like wrote this, it's not a 2014 playoff, or it is, but it's just a play-in weekend, is what it is.
Correct.
So instead of having that room with the debates about do we put in Notre Dame or Alabama, we're just gonna go play them.
But my question is this: is how are we deciding who those 24 teams are? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think it's like the auto qualifiers are the teams that get buys. Or no, yeah, the auto qualifiers get the buys, and then the rest of them are just picked because that's naturally how they'll do it.
So then my question becomes is like, are they okay? So that to me sounds like they're playing like 18 games. That's what it sounds like to me. If we're playing, if like, there's got to be something. There's got to be some sort of give and take here.
Yeah, you probably get rid of one non-con week in the beginning of the year.
So then you're gonna have an 11-game regular season. You're gonna have an odd number. Like 11 seems like a weird number. I mean, that's not a big deal, but to me, like,
the NFL plays an odd number.
Yeah, but like 17, it feels different. Like 11, 11 just seems like a weird number.
No,
they're 11-0.
Well, think about it. They see that just means getting rid of a Mercer game.
I would just say let's just play 10. Play one non-conference game and 9 conference games.
But 11 gets rid of like a lot of the tiebreaker stuff. Because you don't want to cut a conference game.
I'm not cutting a conference game. I'm going to 10 games. I'm playing one non-conference game and 9 conference games.
Okay, well, I would play 2 non-cons and then just and that's just more for economics is all.
Sure. I mean, I get it. Everything is for money. To me,
I mean, like economics, like for the small schools, because like obviously, like the big schools are going to eat with this new format.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, I just don't see a world where I'm even thinking about them missing. Like this year, I'm thinking that like they could miss.
This is the real argument we had. I never worry. Like here we go, Tyler. Have you ever worried about a team missing a 12-team playoff? Like Ohio State missing a 12-team playoff?
This is the first year.
Okay, and my pushback to Tyler is they've had schedules this difficult before.
I just don't agree with that.
But at the end of the year, here's the thing: at the end of the year, the 5 teams that you think are great, fantastic teams, they don't all pan out.
That's also true. That's true.
And that was what I kept. That was me and Tyler's discussion. Tyler was like, "Well, I could legit see like what a 4 or 5 loss." You said what, a 4-loss year?
I said 3. I said I could legitimately see a 3-loss season.
Okay, well,
and in that scenario, 3 losses, you no longer have control of your own destiny.
3 losses, you make a 12-team playoff if you're Ohio State this year.
But you don't. But you can't say that. You can't say that with 100% certainty. You can't.
Well,
There's no way you could say that.
I can say with 95% certainty.
At 10-2, Ohio State always gets in. 100%, no doubt about it.
And I think
too much money, too big of a brand, it's just going to happen. But 9-3, now you're relying on other teams losing. You're relying on help. You're relying on other things outside of your control. And so this season's the first year I was like, man. I mean, even with Kyle McCord, I was like, they're still not losing 3 games.
Yeah, and I guess my pushback was we've had schedules this difficult before, and we've never gone to that 4-loss place or even that 3-loss place.
See, I think there's 3 teams on the schedule that for the first time are of equal talent.
Okay, and this is where I have to push back. So you think that Indiana and Ohio State are equal talent?
This season, I think they are of equal talent. Going into this year, I think Indiana is of equal talent to Ohio State.
All right. Did you think that Penn State and Ohio State were of equal talent going into last year against each other?
Yeah. I think we all said that.
Okay. That's fair. And then would you say that USC is equal talent?
No. You were correct when we talked this afternoon.
Okay. So you have Oregon equal talent, Texas equal talent, and Indiana equal talent.
Correct.
Okay. Do you honestly, in your heart of hearts, think that equal talent Ohio State will ever get swept in equal talent games?
No.
Have they ever in your lifetime been swept in equal talent games in a season?
No.
Have they ever had a losing record against equal talent in a single season?
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying it's 50-50. I'm saying there is there not a 10% chance that they lose 3 games this year?
No, I'm saying a 10% chance, but 10% doesn't equal fear for me.
No, I'm not saying fear, but I'm still intrigued. This season is still intriguing to me. If they go in a 2014 playoff for Ohio State, the intrigue of the regular season is gone to me. Okay. There's no intrigue. There's no so this could happen.
I think it's the same amount of intrigue as it is in a 12-teamer. Because I think Ohio State will never go to that place because Ryan Day will always win.
Basically what it comes to, what the 24 team does to me is it turns the successful, the Ohio States, the Oregons, the Georgias, it turns it into an NFL season where it's like a march to peak at the right time. And it's like I don't want to live in a world. I don't want to live in a world where Ohio State loses a regular season game and we're not all fucking mad as shit.
And I think that is a fan thing, not a playoff format thing. Were Ohio State fans mad as fuck?
That's what I said. I put my Ohio State fan hat on, and I'm just telling you how I feel as an Ohio State fan.
I don't think the playoff size means anything with that. Here we go. Ohio State, they lost to Oregon 2024 by 1 point. Remember what the reaction from the fans were?
Mad as shit.
Exactly.
They were mad, but they understood. But they were still mad.
And was there any risk or feeling that they can miss the playoffs?
No, I don't think so.
No, and they still had.
But we also knew what that team was. I think I'm looking. I think you're looking at it as an entirety. I'm looking at it as this season.
I'm saying did we know what that team was?
Yeah, we knew they had a generational defense, and I think we definitely knew.
Here were the games leading up to tell us that we had a generational defense: Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, the worst Michigan State team, Iowa, notorious for elite offenses. Those are the first. We did not know we had a generational defense. The first offense that was in the top 50 that we played was that Oregon team, and they scored 32 points. We did not know what we were and still left on that schedule. We had number 3 Penn State and number 5 Indiana, and there was never and Michigan, and there was never any thought that team would miss the playoffs.
There was still more intrigue than 24. That's all I'm trying to say is the intrigue is still there with 12. It would be gone with 24.
Yeah. So my thing is
the intrigue then becomes, are you chasing the top 8? That's what the intrigue. That's what you had to flip your intrigue to.
At any point in 24, did you think we weren't going to make the playoffs? Out of curiosity.
No.
Okay. So I guess that's why we're on the same.
No, like I said, I'm okay. I'm okay with 24 as long as it's played on the field and it's not a committee choosing 24 teams.
Okay.
That to me can't happen.
I don't care who picks them.
Play it on the field. That's what I don't understand.
Well, we're going to play it on the field, but they're just going to pick them. I don't really have an issue with the committee if we go to 24 because I think every team that can win a natty will be in there no matter what. And that's my big thing. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge.
You're not really strong on either side.
I'm not strong on either side. I don't really love it, but I get it.
Yeah,
there are people out there that don't get it and don't want it. vehemently don't want it.
How worried are you? How worried are you about this year's schedule though, in totality? Like, do you like if I had a death beam to you, would you say we make or miss the playoffs?
I think we make, because I believe in our coaching staff, and I believe we're the best player in college football. But to say that I'm not, there isn't a piece of me that's like concerned would be a lie.
Well, I think there's a piece to concern every year, like that goes in. I guess maybe other than last year.
I think the concern is like, are we going to beat Michigan and are we going to win a national championship?
I mean,
This year, it's like, are we even like this schedule? Even if we're really good, is really good enough?
Yeah. Even last year, people went into the year saying there could be 4 losses.
Yeah, I didn't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I didn't believe that. I didn't feel that way last year.
Because like Texas, a lot of people thought Texas could have been a loss.
I knew what our defense was. You and I both knew what our defense was going to be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so it's I don't know. Like this is tough, and a lot of it too is like we're also forgetting that we have to go to Iowa. Like if we're talking about our 6, if you took our schedule and our 6 toughest games, 4 of them are on the road.
I shouldn't let you get that bullshit out at Iowa. I should not let you get that off.
Why?
You did a whole Purdue thing to me earlier.
Purdue is such a better program than I was such a better program than Purdue.
Yeah, but like Purdue, like that time of year, they had an NFL receiver, an NFL quarterback, and an NFL defensive end, and it's just like
I still fully expect Ohio State to beat Iowa, but that doesn't.
What I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna let you get that off. I'm just not gonna let you get after you slandered me for the Purdue thing.
It's still an uncomfortable place to play. It's
weird.
At Iowa has always been a tough place to play for anybody.
But at Purdue, I can't get
Purdue.
That.
They stink.
That year, they were a top 20 team with an NFL quarterback, a 10+ sack guy, and actually 2 NFL receivers that year. And isn't that Tyler's big recipe for success? Right?
I'm never going to forgive that. I'm never forgiving that game for as long as I live.
I'm just saying, at Purdue, at Iowa, both weird. Both weird.
Whatever. I'm just saying 6 of the 6 hardest games in Ohio State's schedule, 4 of them are on the road.
Yeah. They don't travel out west, though, to Oregon. I think it's the big win.
And they do get to travel to USC off a bye.
Yeah. Which you and I, like, Tyler tried to get me into a pigeonhole earlier about USC. He was like, "Then say they're going to go 8-4 and they stink." I said, "I'm not doing that. I refuse. I will not call any. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start calling 8-4 Big Ten teams really good."
Listen, hold on. Actually, I just want to say this. People roasted the fuck out of me when I said that they were going to start slow against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. I could smell a trap game a mile a fucking way. Don't tell me to stop.
Also, like, just real quick, I'm done putting down mid-tier Big Ten teams. I'm done doing it.
Like, Iowa's a good, like, they're a top.
I agree with you. I was giving you shit as a friend, but like here as a broadcaster, dog, yeah, like Iowa, yeah, dog. We as a people, this is my Martin Luther Chris speech. We as a people have to stop putting down the middle of the Big Ten because the SEC people listen and they repeat it. And then they go and say that Vandy's of the world and Mississippi State's of the world are really good.
SEC people saying that Mississippi State is a tough place to play
that's what I'm saying. Like
thing I've ever
like we can't talk them out of that. So we have to them inform. Like we as Ohio State fans can't be super elitist to Iowa. Every win we have over these, because here we go. It serves us. Look, Iowa fans aren't going to bark back at us. If we just give them their flowers, be like, you guys are a tough place to play. That's just a win for us and a win for them. Because here's the thing, Tyler. Ohio State fans are talking about like SEC people always talk about how shitty the schedule is. Well, if as Ohio State fans we start talking about like Iowa's really, really good, and we inflate them, those wins look better.
I am a little concerned about Iowa not being able to score any points again, though. I will say that.
Their game against Vandy didn't impress you?
Well, they have a new quarterback, and he can't run. That's I'm a little worried about.
Their new quarterback can't run?
I don't think he can run. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's a runner.
No, he can run.
They helped a lot when that boy could run last year.
No, he can run. They can all run. They'll play a runner.
We'll see.
What else did we want to talk about today? That was good. I mean, I know Tyler's been like cooking up like a mad scientist. I don't know if he's ready to launch that, but
no, not yet.
You watched the Cavs last night?
I did watch the Cavs. Chris asked me a question this morning. He said, "How come Donovan Mitchell doesn't get crushed the way James Harden gets crushed?"
He gets a free pass.
And I said, I don't agree with this, but it's because Cleveland fans love the fact that he chose to be here. And that's what it is.
That's so corny.
Donovan Mitchell is getting the Jose Ramirez treatment for no reason.
None at all. He played horribly. They're lucky they won that game. He played horribly.
He played so in game 4, he played terrible for the first half.
He's had one good half this postseason.
Well, that's not true. He played pretty well in other games, but there's been a couple other games where he's played well. But majority of the playoffs, he's played bad. But last night, he played bad for like 50 or 46 and a half minutes.
He played horribly for all of regulation.
Yeah.
He played good in overtime. But the reason that game even went to overtime is because how horribly he played and then how horribly he played in the last possession of the basketball game.
Can we talk about the fact that Kenny Atkinson regulation ended and he had 2 timeouts in his pocket?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second?
He acted like he could take him to the bank and cash him in for some coupons.
How did that happen? How does that happen?
Should never happen.
And then you don't even get a shot off?
Mm-mm.
Like, what are we doing?
And why are you even drawing it up for that ball to even go to Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell was -4 last night. What?
I mean, you guys keep saying he was good when it mattered, but like the game didn't have to go to overtime if he played better.
He also wasn't good when it mattered. I don't care. I don't care if you finished with 20 points. You went 1 for 8 from 3, and 3 of your 7 made field goals came in overtime. If you literally give me 1 more field goal in regulation, we don't go to overtime. That's what I'm saying. Like there is all these excuses that what they're saying is he made shots when it mattered. All these excuses. What about James Harden?
Listen, the game was won, and like that's true. But the fact of the matter is is if they play like this against New York, they're losing in 5.
Yeah,
they're losing to New York in 5 if they play like this.
And I don't even want this to be a full Cavs thing because it's not a full Cavs thing. No. This team is good enough to win the whole thing. But Donovan Mitchell needs to be held to a higher standard than James Harden, not a lower. That's my only point. Yeah, James Harden played out of his mind. This has become a James Harden legacy series.
Yeah, this James Harden balled last night. I think Evan Mobley came out with some he got a scratch on his face, big ass scratch on his face.
Dude, that one dunk, it looked like the Space Jam movie. Like, why did his arm keep extending?
I just think like this team, they don't value the basketball whatsoever. Like they're averaging like 17, 18 turnovers a game.
Yeah, they did have, what did they have? It's 16 turnovers last night. Nail biter. I'm dragging today because of them. Because
they can't play like this. And the thing that's frustrating is they are more talented than Detroit.
They're a really good basketball team.
They are more talented than the Knicks.
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team.
But they don't. If they play like this, they're not beating the Knicks. And by the way, they have to win tomorrow night. They're not going to go to Detroit and win a Game 7. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. As a Harden fan, I'm also really self-aware. Avoid Harden in Game 7s.
They have to. And the nice thing is like in the locker room after the game, James Harden said after Kenny said whatever he said, James Harden looked at everybody and said, whatever you got to do to get ready to give it all you got tomorrow, Friday night.
because he knows Game 7.
He's well aware.
Game 7, Magic Johnson. I'm not gonna be there.
No, I just like listen. They won the game. They did what they had to do, but like the way that they're playing, like if you lift up the hood and look at how they're actually playing the game, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, bro. Well,
and like this team wasn't James Harden or no, sorry, Donovan Mitchell said, like, none of this shit matters until you get here. Well, you're here now. So play better. Be better.
Do you like how they've been defending Cade Cunningham? Or do you think they should work to trap him more? Because they've kind of been letting Tyson go out there and die a couple times.
Well, dude, they trapped the shit out of him. They didn't let him shoot the ball in the fourth quarter, and it worked.
Except for the one moving to his right where he just chucked it and his foot was on the line. Thank God.
Yeah. No, I mean, Cade Cunningham is a bad boy. Like that kid he's a killer.
Dude, Jordan Tyson was up there for 3 minutes and started falling apart.
I think they can't trap him the whole game. But if they pick their moments and they trap him like they trapped, I mean, they forced the ball out of his hand quickly.
You want to hear something crazy, dude? Jordan Tyson played 3 minutes, got about 15 minutes of screen time in that 3 minutes, was -7.
He got cooked.
And he's a good athlete, too.
That's the thing is, like, I think what I realized last night with Detroit is, like, if you just let Cade get his and stop everybody else, like, there's nobody else. There's
what ends up
nobody else
happening?
in that team.
This is a thing I learned with ISO ball. If you let like an ISO scorer get his and the rest of their offense gets stagnant and then you trap them later in the games, everyone's like, oh God, we haven't gotten a rhythm the whole game because there's just been one guy doing it.
Yeah.
And then that becomes their only go-to. And honestly, that's kind of what happened to Harden a little bit. Like Harden's teammates weren't really engaged late in games because he would play ISO ball and then teams would trap him late. Now he gets trapped early and late, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no, I think the Cavs got to win tomorrow night. I think they do, but man, like I don't feel good about them playing New York, and I really don't feel good about them playing the Thunder in the finals if they make it there. But if they make it to the finals, like whatever, great.
I feel good about New York.
I don't. I don't.
I do. Do you want to touch the Browns schedule game?
We could play this. We'll play the schedule game for the Browns. This would be a good laugh.
I just want you guys to know that, like, Browns fan base has really turned Tyler off recently.
Yeah, man. It's hard, man, because like NFL people, a lot of NFL people don't watch college football.
Right.
And so it's like they don't really care to know what they're getting themselves into for the draft. And the Browns as an organization haven't given me any reason to love what they do. I've been a Browns fan my whole life, and it's been bad my entire life.
Are you going to go to any games this year?
Maybe. Probably not.
Let's get Emily's super chat, dude.
Emily, thanks for the 10. How does this? Oh, she's talking about the
Ohio State,
the 2014 playoff. How does this affect the families and travel? I think it matters. Does everyone have the money to do it? I think, unfortunately, the NCAA doesn't care.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I would expect that like a lot of these kids, at least kids' families, will have travel package stuff written in their NILs.
Probably.
I think that is what you will see moving forward, or like bowl stipends that like help pay for travel. It could end up thinning out some Ohio State fan bases, though. No, we'll travel well no matter what, won't we?
Yeah, we travel well. You
Yeah.
got to remember, like, 65,000 students are there every year, and they cycle through, and there's still 65, and they're all over. Guys, I wear an Ohio State sweatshirt every time I travel, just to see if I get an OH in an airport. And let me tell you, without fail, everywhere I go, I get an OH.
I wear big neutral colors and I go with my hood up so no one recognizes me.
But I'm just like, dog, I was in like every corner of the country I've been to, and there's an Ohio State fan there somewhere.
Yeah, how's everybody from Ohio?
I don't know. Ohio has motion, man. I don't care what anybody says.
Everybody's from Ohio. Did you see what they're doing for the first time during football season? This is going to be the first year that there is a concert at the Horseshoe during football season. First time ever.
Who?
21 Pilots.
At the shoe?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know the shoe is of the stadiums is a top 10 capacity in the nation or in the world. Isn't that nuts? People don't talk about it like that. It holds more people than any Super Bowl.
I mean, it holds 110,000 people.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Well, just wild to think about it like as a top 10 stadium in the world is a wild thing that I don't think people realize.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Narendra Modi Stadium. You want to guess how many people it holds?
150.
132,000.
It's a lot of people.
Number 2 is Ranguru 1st of May Stadium in North Korea, 113. Number 3, the Big House.
The Toilet Bowl.
Number 4, Beaver Stadium, Penn State.
That is it. I need to get there. I do need to get to Penn State one day.
I think they're going to pass Michigan with these new stadium renovations.
Although I hate Penn State's "we are," where we are Penn State. Like, bitch, we know. This is I know who you are.
Dude, that's such an old man grumpy thing to be upset about.
And again, we also spell Ohio at Ohio Stadium.
We try to copyright the, so we don't really have room to talk.
Yeah, that's true.
SoFi Camp Nou in Spain is number 5, and then Ohio Stadium, number 6. Isn't it wild, bro? The SEC always talks about they got the toughest environment. Bitch, we have 3 of the biggest stadiums in the world in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's cracked. There's not a single SEC stadium in the top 6 stadiums in the world. We have 3.
It's because they put all their money in their baseball stadiums down there.
I guess so. Well, actually, it's funny. Number 7, SEC. Number 8, SEC. Number 9, SEC. Number 10, SEC. 11, SEC. 12, SEC. No, 12 is a cricket stadium.
All right, pull up the Browns schedule.
All right, dude. I got it up. Hey, but hey, I'm just saying, like, that's. Oh, wait. One last quick Ohio State thing. DG might be the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
What a great time for the complainers. Anybody that hates on DG, I understand it. He complains a lot. But according to him, breaking news, Ohio State's getting new turf. Complainers win again. DG got you a new kicker and new turf. And at what cost?
And the Heritage Stripes.
Yeah, and Heritage Stripes. DG's on a generational run.
It's just a crazy run right now. Shout out to DG.
Shout out DG, man. All right. Regular season 2026 Browns. Well played schedule game. Jags at Jacksonville.
It's so hard to predict Jacksonville because, like, you never know, like, what you're like. They are Forrest Gump with a box of chocolates, man. Like, you just really never know what you're gonna get.
Can we hear Tyler McCormick do a Forrest Gump impersonation?
Absolutely not. But I'm gonna say win. I'm gonna say win. They're gonna start out 1-0.
All right, at Tampa Bay, the Baker Bowl.
Lost
To the Bakers.
Yes.
Week 3. It's versus the Panthers at home.
I will say recently, they've been playing well in their home openers. And for some reason, Myles Garrett has a specific hatred for small quarterbacks.
Dude, he just wants to kill them.
He wants to really bury them in the earth.
Rip them in half.
I also don't know who's the fuck's playing quarterback. Not that
I was going to ask you when you were going to say who's playing quarterback.
Not that it really matters. I'm going to say win for the home field. Okay. 2-1.
At home versus the Steelers.
Loss.
Who's their quarterback?
Who's our quarterback?
Touche, good brother. At the Jets.
Um,
Come on, you can't give a win against Jacksonville and then pause at the Jets.
I really like what the Jets did in their draft, but I'm gonna say win. The Jets are ass. They're ass too.
Yeah.
It's like the battle of the two worst franchises in sports.
Baltimore at home.
Loss.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there. At Tennessee.
Are
you keeping track of wins total right now?
I think I have 3.
Okay.
This is a win. I think
They're
Tennessee's
winning?
also bad.
Oh, okay. They're beating. So that's 4. At Pittsburgh.
Loss.
At New Orleans.
Loss.
Home versus Houston.
Loss.
Home versus the Raiders after a bye.
Win. I think they win. I think they beat a rookie quarterback.
Did you get to 5 wins?
So this is 5.
Wow. Home versus the Bengals.
Loss.
The Battle of the Sith. It's good old Kevin Stefanski at home.
Oh, they play Atlanta? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That should be the primetime game. Forget that Thursday, October 1st game against Pittsburgh. The Atlanta game needs to be the primetime game.
Man, that's a wild
It's a wild crossover, dude.
that is a wild crossover. I don't know. Loss. We'll say loss.
Okay.
They're going to it's typical Browns where they try too hard, they want it too badly and they fuck it up.
Bunch of false starts.
Yeah.
At the Giants.
Loss.
I think the Giants are going to be last year's Broncos. I think they're going to be really good. At Baltimore.
Loss.
Home versus the Colts.
Loss.
And then at Cincinnati.
Loss. I don't think they win a game in the division.
Okay, you got 5 wins.
Yeah, I think that's what they are.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, it's like
You're
at
fine.
some point Joe Burrow, like, he has to do it. Like, I think I agree, Richie. At some point, like, are we gonna have a conversation about Joe Burrow if they stink again?
No.
Why?
Because good quarterbacks to play for the Bengals don't get that conversation. Did you ever have a conversation about Carson Palmer? No, you kept it pushing. Great player, shitty franchise.
They went to the playoffs.
Hmm?
They went to the playoffs every year.
Are you sure about that?
It was with the Marvin Lewis days where they went to the playoffs and got a fucking boat race every first round of the playoffs.
I think you're having some crazy memory dystopian situation because T.J. Houshmandzadeh cried when they made the playoffs.
No, I thought they made the playoffs like every year under Marvin Lewis. That's why they got fired. They got the playoffs and they lost in the first round like 6 years in a row.
Let's see. I don't remember. I just remember T.J. Houshmandzadeh crying because they made the playoffs for the first time in forever.
Well, he also has a man bun. So
okay, so they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs in 2005 was the first time making the playoffs in over 15 years.
Okay.
Then they made the playoffs 4 years later in 2009.
Okay.
Then they made the playoffs 2 years later in 2011.
Oh.
Then, yeah, so they went on the run, lost the playoffs in 11, 12, 13.
So that's what I'm thinking of. And that was with Andy Dalton.
Yeah, it was Andy Dalton, not Carson Palmer.
I mean, I think I just starting to wonder
Yeah, so Carson Palmer made the playoffs one time.
So I was thinking of Andy Dalton. My bad. Just another, just another white decent.
But we didn't have a conversation about him. We were just like,
Yeah, but Joe Burrow is people talk about Joe. Nobody talk about Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton as like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay. Ooh, I got one for you. What about Matt Ryan? Anybody ever talk about him? No.
Again, was he ever talked about as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, he won an MVP, set records.
I guess if you put up numbies, it's all good.
Yeah, if you put up numbies, you're straight. He won an MVP in 2016.
That's Kirk Cousins' hero is Matt Ryan. That's who Kirk Cousins wants to be when he grows up.
It's like just slightly above average, and you get an ace on 2 tests, and back to slightly above average. No one ever says, "Damn, this is a bad student." It's like good student.
There's just a lot of it's just funny how in sports, man, we just
we pick and choose who we want.
Absolutely pick and choose who gets crushed and who doesn't.
Yeah, because why did Matt Ryan not get crushed at all? But we sit here and
you know what? I sent you that
Josh
picture
Allen.
of those quarterbacks, the key 3 cut 9. Put that up.
Oh, I didn't even grab it.
It's on your phone. I sent it to you.
I know it's on my phone, not my computer. I'll grab it real quick.
So there's another. It's just it all depends on the vibes. What vibe do you like this guy or do you not like this guy?
You know what I think it is? I think it depends on how loud the person's fan base is. Like Bills fans are loud, and they said, "Oh, Josh Allen's better than Lamar Jackson," or he's better than Pat. They ask for these debates to be included in the Patrick Mahomes discussion, and then when you lose, it's like, uh-oh, right? Because I don't think Falcons fans were ever like, "Oh yeah, our guy's better than Tom Brady."
True.
That's my only theory. But you're right. We be picking and choosing.
I just feel like that Joe Burrow was talked about as he was in the conversation with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And, uh-oh. Now there's 2 of you.
My bad, dude.
What is happening? I can't handle 2 of you. There's no way I could talk to 2 of you. I'll blow my brains out. Now you're both frozen. I shouldn't have had him get this up. But I had a reason for asking him to bring this up. Is because I feel like, again, however you like a guy, if you like him and they lose, whatever, you like him. Uh-oh. Yeah, see. Uh-oh. Something's happening. Oh, Chris's computer just crashed. Well, either way, it's just me. Yeah, at the end with me. It's always go Bucks, go Cavs. And we tolerate the Browns around here. So Chris is gone. I'm Tyler. Peace.